Hello and welcome back to the Bronco Wave. Today with Bitcoin in US dollar. And what a day for Bitcoin and what a day for gold and silver and everything else. So very exciting today again. We got a lot of upwards and downwards movements and it was a very nice day and I had a lot of fun and it was very exciting to see all of the assets develop. And in Bitcoin, we got this nice daily candle, and this launched right above this trend line. So it looks really nice, really bullish in some kind of way. But I personally, just to give you a quick spoiler, do not expect it to be bullish, at least for the moment. And as you can see from my drawing, this is my preferred scenario for the moment for Bitcoin. I really still see this ABC correctional pattern completing until we see something else. But this is something that we have to wait a couple of days for. Just to do a quick recap for all of you guys who did not watch my previous videos, I think the most important thing in Bitcoin right now is this trend line. Yeah, this diagonal one. This is the one that connects the all-time high at the end of 2017 with the intermediary high at the end of June of 2019. And it's still pointing downwards, which indicates a bearish trend essentially. And Bitcoin managed to break out a little bit above it, yeah, and managed to complete its first impulsive pattern, which I think it's Bitcoin's first impulsive pattern, this this one here from the low to this high, which is this red wave 1. The following high is just an overshooting correctional pattern, which likes to occur following strong movements. We get this correctional move down, an overshooting correctional pattern, and a new low. Following this, a correctional move up, and following this, ideally another move down. So from an Elliott wave standpoint, those correctional waves, especially if they are a wave 2, which is perfectly possible at the moment, they like to go into the price area of the previous wave 4, which would be somewhere around here, which would in turn align pretty nicely with this 0.618 retracement at approximately $8,940. Yeah, so this is the scenario, or my main scenario at the moment. And if we were to get a price movement like this, let me just take the Elliott wave impulsive move. Yeah, this would be probably the wave 1. We would get a wave 2, a wave 3 down, a wave 4, and a wave 5 to seal the deal. And essentially, so we got this first impulsive move down, which in itself can be counted like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this looks perfect, just perfect, textbook. And this is why this is my preferred scenario. So we got this impulsive move down, wave 1, yeah. Got this correctional move, wave 2 up. We could get a wave 3 down, which should have enough momentum to take Bitcoin below this EMA 200, which otherwise would offer a lot of support. We could get a wave 4 up again, which could retrace Bitcoin all the way up to the EMA 200, wherever it may be. And then a final impulsive move 5 down to reach this low. And if we take the extensions and measure them from this high to this low, and then up towards this high of the B, we can see that it pretty much lines up with this 0.618 retracement. Yes, so this looks like a really nice technical target. I really have to be honest. This is what I'm really aiming for in Bitcoin. And from a technical perspective, this looks like a really sensible target and something to wait for. And following this, I just want to go into the following scenario because this is something of a big picture thing that I want to mention, because the next 3 days will play a major role or probably play a major role in the Bitcoin price movement for the next couple of months or weeks. And the idea behind it is this. if I switch back to the weekly chart, yeah, we can see that we have this probably high of wave 1, wave 2, and probably another wave 1, wave 2, and hopefully another wave 1 and another wave 2 in the making. And one thing that I noticed on the MACD is that we continually have a declining MACD, and every time the blue line crossed the orange line, we got a correctional period for a significant amount of time. Yeah, so right here we got this correctional period, right here we got this correctional period once it was crossed, and right now you have to look at this value up here, yeah, the red one or the white one, whatever it is, yeah. Sometimes it's also green when it's positive. Right now we're at minus 4.51, and there are 3 days and 4 hours left for this weekly candle. And Bitcoin, judging by this indicator, is at a major crossroads. Yeah, so we could postulate that if this blue line crosses the orange line again, that we get a correctional period that maybe takes a year, 1.5, who knows how long, just to get down to new lows. Maybe towards this EMA 200, maybe it goes below this EMA 200. So this EMA 200 is likely to be around $7,000 once Bitcoin goes down here. So maybe we even go down to 5,780 again. So definitely a possibility. And it would still be bullish for Bitcoin unless Bitcoin would go below this low of the, below this previous low essentially. So below $3,840 approximately. And this is one scenario, that if this blue line crosses the orange line, we get another massive correctional phase which takes weeks or months. And the other scenario might be, if we look at this, yeah, so it's at roughly 638, this MACD score. We were at a similar point right before this massive bull run took place. Yeah, so from here, which essentially quadrupled Bitcoin in value. So we went up from 2,980 all the way up to $20,000 even. So it even it's increased Bitcoin's value by 6 times approximately. Yeah, so but it didn't cross the orange line. Yeah, so that's essentially, that's why Bitcoin's at such a crossroads right now. The indicators are going very neutral right now, but slightly overboard because it's above this neutral line, which is 0 obviously. But then again, this further increase is perfectly possible in Bitcoin. But just the same, it's possible for Bitcoin to cross the line and then initiate another correctional phase. So that's why Bitcoin is in such a precarious spot right now, and why the next couple of days, 3 days or 4 days, will play such an important role for the future Bitcoin price movement. And there's the possibility that, of course, once we have this negative score on the weekly MACD, that all of this is just a wave A. We get another wave B, maybe all the way up to this trend line, maybe even towards this horizontal line, which is essentially close to this high of the wave B. So we got this little overshoot, but this area of the previous lows seems to provide some kind of resistance. And from here or there, we could see Bitcoin drop down and go into the $7,000 or $6,000 range. This is definitely a possibility. But for the moment, we will have to see what Bitcoin does. And of course, once Bitcoin prices go above this previous high of the proposed wave B, I would have to erase this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scenario and or postpone it a little bit, because if I have to take this off and this wave B decides to go a little bit higher, we have retracements at around $11,200 around here, and at 11,550, I think it was. So this wave B could very well extend all the way up to 11,500, or maybe generate a double top. So higher prices for a wave B are my second preferred scenario. And yeah, this would essentially mean that deciding on how high this wave B goes, that maybe we do not get a wave C that's so low. So this would, of course, this would be a very bullish outlook for Bitcoin. So if we get a wave C that only corrects somewhere around here, there's a good chance that this is just the wave 2 completing, and that from here this Bitcoin rocket should start, and we will never see 4-digit prices in Bitcoin again. So yeah, furthermore, this would mean that, I mean, as I just showed you the weekly outlook, if Bitcoin prices go up over the next couple of days, we would probably get a positive MACD score, and this would increase the chances of Bitcoin just rallying up with a further, just rather small correctional move, which would generate some kind of flat correction for Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin essentially launching its new rally and reaching new highs. And yeah, that's something I really hope for in Bitcoin. But those scenarios on the downside, they have to be taken account for. So you have to keep them in mind. Essentially, this is definitely a possibility. So yeah, money management is very important in Bitcoin, just as it is in every other asset that is around. And yeah, just to sum it all up, I expect, at least for the moment, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, something like this, yeah, in this fashion or something. And to be honest, if we get this move, I would lean towards us getting a wave B and another wave C down towards a new low. So because if Bitcoin should turn around here and go below this trend line, I mean, we've struggled so long along this trend line, this would pretty much place a lot more importance on this, and I really think it would generate a lot more selling interest, and maybe this following wave B wouldn't even go above this trend line but stay below it and just bounce off and generate a new low before hopefully generating enough momentum in 2021 to go above it. And I mean, the time factor will play into this, because this line will get ever lower, and it will be easier for Bitcoin to go above it and to rise above it and leave this downward trends behind itself. Yeah, but that's something that we just have to wait for. Right now, the important question is whether Bitcoin will complete this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, or if this wave B will extend itself and we might even get a flat correction that only goes slightly towards this EMA 200 on a daily basis, and we will not enter this week-long correctional phase, but instead get the rally right away. But that's something that's really hard to tell at the moment, and yeah, we will just have to wait for this a little longer and just see what Bitcoin does over the next couple of days. As I said, the next 3 days will play a major role for the future price development of Bitcoin. So next 3 days will be really exciting, and I will be having a very close look on Bitcoin. And of course, I will do another update in a couple of days just to have another look at Bitcoin and see how everything unfolded, and whether we got a positive or negative MACD score, and just to see on a weekly basis, and just to see how this could affect Bitcoin or the further price development of Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, that's it for Bitcoin for the moment. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.